This is the Wellness Club, where we dive into all things wellness, from nutrition to fitness to productivity and more. We are exploring the science to help you feel your best inside and out. I'm your host, Cass Camp, and I am so happy that you're here. Welcome to the club. Hi guys, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Cass. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Oh my gosh, the last couple weeks have been so crazy, and I'm so excited to finally catch you guys up. It has been just a whirlwind of things going on. I apologize in advance for my voice. I'm getting over a little sickness, which is why I didn't have an episode last week. It's just been a lot of things. Everything just felt dead. My body felt dead. My energy felt dead, but my spirit is alive today, and I'm happy to be back on the podcast and catch you guys up. Honestly, I've just been living life. I've been so social, going on trips, birthdays, hanging out with friends, all these things, and I honestly haven't even really been posting on social media. I've just been living, and you guys know as an introvert, I like to keep to myself and stay home, but I've been going out, I've been hanging out with friends, I've been doing a lot of stuff lately. First of all, I went on the vacation of a lifetime a couple of weeks ago, and if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen all the pictures, and I have a ton more that I just haven't even gotten around to posting. I went to Sunset Key, which if you're not familiar with the Keys, I didn't even know that this existed. It's an island off of Key West. So a lot of people have heard of Key West before. Sunset Key is a little island. It's like a private island, honestly. Paris Hilton has a house there, Kenny Chesney, Oprah. We didn't see any of them, but we did hear rumors that they have houses there. And the only reason I got to go is because one of my friends has a connection there, and that's how we got to go there. And it was the most amazing experience ever. Like truly 5-star hotel, which I've never been to a 5-star hotel like that. When I say every single detail was taken care of, from breakfast baskets in the morning, desserts brought to our room every day, just everyone knew our name and knew who we were. It was just the most amazing experience. The only way that you can get to this island is by taking a ferry back and forth from Key West, which is what we did. So while we were there, we obviously explored the island we were staying on and went to the beaches and the pools and hung out at the house. But we also took the ferry back and forth to Key West, which that was my first time in Key West too. And oh my gosh, it's so fun. It's so alive. There's so much to do. Live music everywhere. So many bachelorette parties. We just had a great time. I went with a few of my friends, my boyfriend too, and it was just the most amazing experience. I'm so lucky that I got to go. I'm so grateful. We went snorkeling. The boys went fishing. We ate fresh fish that they caught for lunch. And when I tell you that is a meal that I'm going to think about the rest of my life, it was one of the best meals I've ever had in my life. Fresh fish from that day, freshly caught, made for us, sitting by a pool. Oh my gosh, it was just a great time. Also, just the weather alone of being in Florida, being in the sun, being by water, seeing the crystal blue, clear skies, clear ocean. It was just amazing. We saw dolphins. We saw all kinds of stuff. And being in that kind of weather just makes you feel alive again. Like there is nothing like it, especially coming from the Northeast where we've been having cold, snow. My skin is so dry. All of those things. Going back down to Florida and getting to experience that again was the best. And as you guys know, I went to college in Florida, and being there just made me think, like, why did I ever come back to Jersey? That kind of weather just makes your mood so much better, so much brighter. I went on walks while I was down there, talked to locals, talked to people. It was just a great time. And then after we came back, it just didn't stop. We went Wednesday to Sunday, so I was back to work on Monday, and we are preparing for another dance show. We just got done a dance show, so we've been working on that. We're preparing for the next one. And then that Thursday was my boyfriend's birthday, and he turned 25. So I wanted to make it like a special birthday, more special than I have in the past. So I planned a surprise dinner, which I've never done before. I've never planned any kind of surprise party or surprise before. I am horrible at keeping a secret. I feel like I tell everything. I mean, obviously, that's why I have a podcast, because I'm just like a chatterbox when it comes to that stuff about me. If someone tells me to keep something to myself, I can keep someone else's secret, but I can't keep my own. Like I literally come home to my boyfriend and I have to tell him every single detail of my day. That's just how I am. I'm a yapper. I'm a yap kind of girl. So to plan a surprise party was new and exciting and definitely a challenge for me. And let me just tell you guys, the pressure of planning a surprise is so much. Like, I've never had to keep a secret like that before. And the whole time I was so nervous that I was going to slip up. I was worried his friends were going to slip up. I felt like I had to think on the spot all the time because he was asking questions that I had to make up answers to. But it was fun. I would definitely do it again. But it was definitely a lot in my head. I just was thinking of all the moving pieces, all the little details. And it worked out so well. We went to a hot pot restaurant, which is like Korean style food. They also have Korean barbecue. And it's so much fun. If you've never had hot pot style food, you should definitely try it, especially like a first date. It's so fun because you have something to talk about, something to do. You make your food yourself. So at least at the place that I was at, it's all buffet, like raw meats, beef tongue, seafood, all kinds of stuff, vegetables, noodles, everything you want, different sauces. And then you go to the table and everyone has a burner with their broth and you make it yourself. And then at the place we went, they also do Korean barbecue. So in the center, they have the Korean barbecue like grill that you can cook your food that way too. And it's such a fun experience. Me and Dom go quite often. It's like one of his favorite places. So I highly recommend if you've never done that before. And I got a group of all of his friends and their girlfriends to come. So there was 16 of us total, which is a huge birthday dinner. Like, I don't even think I have 16 close friends, but one thing about Dom, he has a lot of close friends and like they're literally all his best friends for life, which is so cool and so admirable. He has such a great friend group. So all 16 of them showed up. We had this whole section in the back of the restaurant. And let me tell you, me and the hostess that week, we became like so close because I called her so many times throughout the week, updating the numbers, adding more people, asking questions. And then I let her know that it was a surprise. And let me tell you, she hooked it up. She made sure that we were hidden in the back so that everyone was seated when we got there. She made sure that when we showed up, she knew and I knew. I felt like we were best friends forever at that point because, you know, they could easily slip up and say, oh, reservation for Cassidy, 16 people, right? You know, but instead she was like, oh, just you two, follow me. She grabbed 2 menus as if it was just a normal dinner of just 2 of us. Like, she really hooked it up. They played a happy birthday song on the intercom so everyone heard it. It was so much fun. And every single person kept the surprise. 16 people is a lot of people to have a lot of room for error. But his friends really pulled through. They were calling him up, acting like they had different dinner plans, acting like they had different stuff going on. One of his friends literally called him on his birthday and was like, oh, what are you doing to celebrate? What are you doing for dinner? And Dom was like, oh, me and Cassidy are going out to dinner. He thought it was just us two. And his friend was like, oh, I was going to invite you over. We're making chicken cutlets. And I started to think like all of his friends were keeping this secret, keeping it a surprise. And I heard the phone calls and I'm sitting there thinking like, wait, did they forget? Like, I started to believe their lies and I knew that it was all a surprise. So they really kept the surprise. They went above and beyond. I literally started to believe it. And I obviously knew that it was going to be this huge surprise party. And luckily, Dom really didn't have any idea. There were a couple of instances where I had to think on the spot and think of different ideas to kind of steer him in the wrong direction. So the way that I went about it, I let him know that we were getting dinner, but I made it like, oh, let's just do a date night. And at first he was like, you don't want to invite friends? And I'm like, no, I think it'd be more romantic if it's just us two. And he's such an extrovert. So I knew he would want his friends there. And so I kind of had to like guilt him a little bit and be like, oh, let's just do a date night, just us two. And then we'll celebrate with the friends on the weekend, whatever. And then he's like, well, why don't we go to this new spot? Like, he was trying to change the restaurant. And I was like, no, I already made the reservation. I already did all this stuff for it. Like, let's just keep it. And he's like, you know, we literally can cancel the reservation. I'm like, no. And he was like, yeah, sure. Let's just do whatever you want to do on my birthday. And I felt so bad, but I had to kind of keep that act up because if not, obviously, we wouldn't have been at the surprise dinner. So I had to make sure he knew that we were going to this place, whether he wanted to or not. And obviously he was so happy when all of his friends were there. But leading up to it, I had to keep the lie a little bit. And then also, this part is crazy. We're on our way to the restaurant. We're in the parking lot and all of his friends parked in like a completely different parking lot because one thing about boys, they know each other's trucks. They know each other's cars. I would have absolutely no idea, but they pick up on that kind of stuff. So everyone parked separately except his brother-in-law who has like a big white truck, but everyone has this truck. Like, it's a pretty common truck. So I was like, oh, no big deal, whatever. Dom sees it and he's like, oh, I think that's their truck. And I'm like, there's no way. Why would they be all the way here getting this kind of food? There's no way. And he's like, no, I really think that that's his truck. And then he was like, but why would the passenger seat sun visor be down unless my sister was doing her makeup and the way to dinner? Like maybe they're here. And he's like having all these conversations with himself about this truck. And in the back of my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, he better not figure this out. So I just like stopped talking and I just let him keep going and going and going about it because I really didn't even know what to say. I'm like, there's no way that they would be here. What are the odds they're here on the same day? And Dom and his sister have the same birthday. So I really was like, there's no way that she would be here on her birthday. Like she's definitely at a different restaurant. When obviously the whole time I knew they were inside. And he's like, yeah, but that really looks like his truck and like all this stuff. And then of course, when we get in there, she was in there. All of his friends were in there. Everyone was there. And we just had a great time. It was so much fun. And like I said, the restaurant really went above and beyond to make it special, playing the happy birthday song, making sure we had everything we needed, keeping the surprise, keeping the secret, answering all my phone calls. I talked to them so many times about it. And they were just like, yeah, we'll just keep adding tables. No big deal. We'll reserve a whole section for you. Like they just went above and beyond to make it accessible and happy and good and such a fun experience. I was definitely happy when it worked out and we got there and got to sit down and see everyone because I was just so anxious about it all week, honestly, thinking that people were going to spoil the surprise. But everyone kept it. Everyone showed up. It was perfect. They were all on time. It went like so smoothly. I would 1000% do a surprise party again because it's so fun to plan. There's nothing like that adrenaline rush. And it really is just so special seeing people you love spend time with people they love on their birthday and get celebrated. Like one thing about Dom, like I said, he's such an extrovert and he has so many friends that are really like such close friends. Like I feel like every single one of them would be there if something happened or like he needed somebody on the side of the road or something like that. Every single one of them would be there for him. And he has 16 people on a birthday dinner, which is insane. But they really just have such a special bond. And that's something that I've always admired because I feel like I have a few close friends that are like my ride or die close friends. And he has like 16, which is just so special. But it says a lot about him and it says a lot about his character and his friends' characters. So yeah, I don't know. I love seeing that. I love celebrating other people's birthdays. I've always been the type that I'm a little bit weird on my own birthday because I never know, like, do I tell people it's my birthday? Do I plan my own birthday? But celebrating other people's birthdays has always been so fun for me. I really love it. So yeah, we had a great time. Like it truly was special. And he turned 25, which I feel like is a big birthday. So we had a good time. I was happy. And he was so happy, which is what really matters. He had such a good time and he kept saying how much it meant to him. And I just know that it was really special for him to see all of his friends. So it worked out. And that was on a Thursday night. So the birthday celebrations just continued. We continued to see our friends. We continued to do stuff all weekend. And that's when I started to get a little bit sick. And I really think it was just all the things I had going on. Like literally leading up to vacation, I had a dance show. Then I'm on vacation. You know how that wears your body down. Then I'm planning Dom's birthday. Then we're continuing to go out. Then I'm back to work. And I just really haven't had a break per se or like a time to rest. And I'm the type, like I run myself to the ground sometimes. So I definitely got a little sick after that. Nothing crazy. Like I was still going to work. I was still doing all of those things, but I was just feeling run down and I was feeling it. I lost my voice a little bit. You can still kind of hear it, but I'm getting back. I've been resting. I've been trying to prioritize taking care of myself. I took a break from the gym. At one point I was trying to still go, but you know, when you're sick like that, you do have to take a rest and you do have to know when it's time to recover and when it's time to push yourself. That is a question that I get sometimes from people about knowing the difference between pushing yourself and taking a break, because excuses and sickness are very different. And there are times where you want to take a break purely out of just making excuses for yourself. And then there are times where you actually need to take a break because you're run down. If you're getting sick, if you're having injuries, if you're just really feeling depleted and you're not even seeing progress, that's a really good indication that you need to take a break. And sometimes taking a week off of the gym is like truly one of the best things you can do. You'll come back feeling stronger. You'll come back feeling more energized. You'll start to see progress again. There is productivity in taking a rest and taking like a deload week or just a recovery week or just time off. I know that I needed that this week during the work week. I was going to bed a lot of nights at like 7:30, 8 o'clock because my body just needed it and I was exhausted and tired and just not feeling my best. And there is nothing wrong with that, especially like I said, if you're getting sick or you're getting injured often, that's likely a sign that you're overdoing it. And a workout and overdoing it in your workouts is just another added load on your body. I talked about this on my stress episode, I think, talking about the different kinds of stress, but basically your body has a threshold of what it can handle. And everything that you do to add load to that threshold is adding to your overall stress load. Your body doesn't really know the difference between physical stress, like working out, and emotional stress, like your workload or your mental fatigue, all of those things. So if you have all of them in high amounts in combination with each other, you're likely going to get burnt out. You're likely going to get sick. You're likely going to feel run down because all of that together is over that threshold. And I know for me, that's definitely where I was at, going on vacation, going through shows, going to work, going to the workouts, planning birthday dinners, doing all of that, going out with my friends, like all of those things together in combination made me feel sick and made me feel run down. And trust me, I have absolutely no regrets. I would go on vacation again. I would plan the birthday dinners again. I would do my dance shows again. I would do everything all over again. But you definitely have to know that when those things are up, it's time to take a little bit of a break, prioritize your recovery, prioritize your health, and get back to it. Because doing that just for a week, going to bed early, not doing my workouts as much, or just doing yoga, walking, like easier, low impact type of workouts has truly made a difference. And now I feel like I'm back at it. Obviously, my voice is still a little bit not there, but I feel like I'm able to go again. I'm not feeling tired when I wake up. I'm not feeling those like negative burnout symptoms that we've all been in at some point. Stress happens in cycles and there's no way to completely avoid it. There are going to be times where you're a lot busier than others, and there are going to be opportunities that you don't want to say no to, even though you're stressed out or you have a lot of things going on. But being aware of that and then doing the things that you need to do after to help recover is what's going to keep you out of those burnout cycles. Because what sometimes happens to people is you do all these things, but you don't stop ever until you literally are forced to stop. Like you get so sick that you need to be off work and take off of everything, or you get an injury that you can't recover from as quickly, or just mentally you feel so drained and fatigued that you don't want to do anything at all. And getting to that burnout phase is so exhausting and really hard to recover from. So doing the steps in between to kind of prevent that and get back on the horse before it gets to that point can truly make such a difference. I know for me, sleep is one of the best things and one of the most important things when I know that I'm in this phase. Prioritizing my sleep, going to bed early. I don't care if it makes me sound like a grandma. 7:30, 8 o'clock bedtime is such a move when you feel like this. Also, just trying to eat healthy when I can. So like obviously when I'm on vacation and I have birthdays and I have friends over and I'm hanging out with my friends more and I'm just doing a lot of things, obviously I'm indulging a lot more than I normally would. And I think that that's totally fine. Like I'm not the person on vacation that's worried about following a diet. But when I do come back or when I have opportunities to eat healthier, I definitely try to take those opportunities and make those better choices because it does make you feel better. I know like when I go on vacation or I go through a period of eating out a lot more, by the end, I feel kind of sick. Like I feel more bloated, which an episode on that is coming soon. I feel bloated. I feel tired. I just don't feel myself. I feel more inflamed. Like I really start to feel those symptoms. And I try to get ahead of that when I can. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect all the time. Like if you're traveling a lot with your friends, obviously indulge, have fun, have the dessert, have the birthday cake, have that meal that you love to have when you go out. But I do really try to make it a point that when I come back and I get back in my routine to be back on those healthier meals, more nutritious, higher in vitamins, which will also help prevent like that sickness and burnout and just low energy feeling. But overall, I've just been having fun, honestly. I've been doing a lot of new things. I've been hanging out with a lot of people, doing a lot of cool things. And sometimes you're just in that phase. Now I definitely want to take a little break and like get back on my routine and really get back into my workouts and feeling good and going to sleep and like getting all of these things. But life happens in phases, and there will be times where you're more social than others. There will be times where you have a lot of weddings going on or you have a lot of things that you have to do. And all of those things are fun. Even if it makes you out of your routine, even if you're eating things you don't normally eat, even if you're just doing things you don't normally do, it is so fun. And that's what makes life life. And makes experiences and makes memories. I know it can be easy, especially if you're into wellness, like hardcore, to feel like you need to follow your routine all of the time or feel like you're a failure if you break from your routine. And I'm here to tell you, let go of that. Nothing bad is going to happen if you take a week off. Nothing bad is going to happen if you take a week to go on vacation and indulge a little bit. Like, if anything, you're going to feel good and you're going to feel refreshed when you come back because you took a break, because you did something different, because you broke up your routine. As humans, we literally need to do new things. If you listen to my plateau episode, I talked all about that. Doing these things, yeah, you might not be as healthy, quote unquote, but you're doing things that are fun and that help those other dimensions of wellness. Wellness isn't just working out and eating good. It's also spending time with your friends, building memories, feeling like you're aligned with your purpose, feeling like you're aligned with yourself and doing new things, getting out of your comfort zone. All of those things are wellness. And this kind of just turned into a rant about that. But honestly, in the last few weeks, I really got to realize this and appreciate this because I have spent the last couple weeks not really focused on wellness and more focused on just my social life. But social life is wellness. And that's the point I'm trying to make here. But now I'm back into the swing of things for the next few weeks. I'll be back in my normal work routine, normal post-work routine, workout routine, all of those things. And that's going to feel really good too. We're starting another show at my job, so I've been choreographing a lot and planning out dances and planning out the showcase, and that really makes me feel like excited and alive and creative, and I really like that part of my job, so that's where my energy is going now. And obviously my energy goes into this podcast every single week and the Wellness Club in general, and I have been doing some more planning for the Wellness Club retreat, which I'm so excited about. As it gets closer, I just get so excited about all the little details and everything that I have planned in secret. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I don't want to rush it, but I can't wait till it's here. So yeah, I'm excited about that, which by the way, we still have open spots. If you want to come, everything is linked in the description. So yeah, that's this week's episode. Just a nice little chatty life catch up. What I've been up to. Honestly, I feel like I owe you guys that. So that's what I've been up to. Now we're back. You can expect some more science-backed episodes in the next few weeks because I have some topics that people have been asking me that I really want to dive into. So we're definitely going to get into that in the next few weeks. So follow the podcast if you're not already. Give it a rate and a review. Send it to a friend. And let me know what you think on Instagram at the Wellness Club XO. I hope you guys have a great week and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.